Welcome to F1 Purple Rain with me, Dom.
And me, Ryan.
Welcome to another late night session.
We're getting good, these late night sessions.
Well, before we get into Bar No Rain, or as I like to call it, the Lolcon Grand Prix,
Or the Bad No Fun Grand Prix.
I just want to ensure the listeners and the fans that this episode is going to be far much more interesting than the race.
Because the race was absolutely dog shit.
And that's why we make this podcast. Keep you guys entertained. Are you not entertained?
Definitely watching that before we go to bed tonight. Thank you.
I forgot where the quote's from. Where's it from?
Are you fucking serious?
I completely forgot.
Are you not entertained?
I've completely forgot. I just noticed a quote.
Well, okay, I'll give you a clue. It's a Russell Crowe film.
Ah, okay. It's Gladiator.
Yeah. Surprised at that.
Have you seen Unhinged?
What's that?
It's a Russell Crowe film.
No, I've not seen Unhinged. Is it?
It's basically like I know this is an F1 podcast, but this is why we're talking about random films.
Because the race was that boring, we're going to talk about films instead. So welcome to our film review.
Watch Unhinged. Basically, he's a guy having a pretty shit day, and then someone cuts him up on the road and he gets road rage. And he follows this mother of this single mother until he murders everyone.
Wow. Okay. That sounds like. Have you ever seen the Michael Douglas the Michael Douglas film?
The Michaelises.
Oh my. Yes. No. Fuck. I can't remember what it's called, but he's like a businessman and he gets stuck in traffic, and he just fucking loses the plot.
I haven't seen it,
And
but
he goes.
I know the film.
He goes to like a fast food joint and asks for the breakfast menu, and they say it's like 1 minute past breakfast, and he gets it like an Uzi. Starts like threatening him and all. He has like a bazooka and stuff. Oh, what the fuck? I need to find out what this film's called. It sounds similar to what you just said. So that's why.
It's definitely worth a watch. I know of the film you're talking about. I just don't also know the name. And that's what you're here for, guys. Little facts. Terrible anecdotes. Welcome to Terrible Anecdotes 101.
Yep. The beginning of this podcast just sums up how we think of the race. It was that boring. We'll talk about films instead.
Well, it's not going to be in chronological order, this podcast about the race, but I would like to say that there was more penalty points to Ocon than there was actual points to talk about the race.
Yeah, I feel so sorry for Ocon. You come into a new season, like super excited to get to drive a new car. You have a new teammate, your mate Gasly. You go out there, and every time he did something, it was penalty for this. You didn't serve that penalty correctly, so here's a penalty for you.
Everything, like literally everything.
Do you know what I thought was the funniest bit of his penalties was he got a penalty in the pit lane going to serve his penalty.
I know.
Because he got a penalty for speeding on the way to serve a penalty.
Yeah, but then he got another penalty while serving another penalty because you've not included the fact that they didn't wait long enough on the car before they worked on the car, so he got another penalty while serving a penalty. So that happened twice.
Yeah, so he got a penalty for not serving a penalty correctly, and then on the way to serve a penalty, he got a penalty for speeding to serve a penalty.
And it all started from the start of the race. He got a penalty before the lights had gone out and he started racing.
Yeah, because he went too far ahead in his pit box. In his grid box, sorry. What a day. What a day.
I honestly didn't know. This was the most interesting race of the day was who's going to come last. Because Lando Norris was giving it his best shot to...
Yeah, oh God, yeah.
He pitted 6 times.
Just so his car could get getting filled up with air.
Yeah, I don't understand it. It's like his car was giving birth. He was on a maternity ward looking for gas and air. It's every 2 minutes it's been brought in.
It was like that time when you You fell off the side. When you remember you broke your hand on a night
Oh,
out,
yeah,
you had to get
dislocated my
gas and
thumb.
air all the
Yeah.
time. Yeah, you had to keep getting gas and air. That's what I was like.
Every 5 minutes. And annoyingly for McLaren, like they actually looked like they had pace because he was keeping up with
Yeah, yeah,
with
he was right
Alonso
behind
and
Alonso and Hamilton. Yeah, but
for
he just had to keep going
ages.
for more air.
Until they had to pit again for
Because
more
there
air.
was there, 'cause there was a real point where they were like Norris might actually overtake these two and like unlap himself, and then
Because
he just got
he's
to
on the
keep going back
freshest
to the pits.
he's on
Yeah,
the freshest
he's
tires. He keeps coming in every 7 laps.
At one point he was on the mediums, the tire that everyone said they hated, because he probably ran out of every other tire. We had no other tires to use. It's like,
Couldn't
ah, well,
believe it.
guess we'll just go and use a fucking medium.
I have to give it to McLaren though. Like even the commentators were just constantly saying he needs to just retire the car. But like they're like, no, we need the data. We need to work out why we're
Yeah,
slow.
yeah, it's gonna keep him out
Just,
and
just
just
keep filling it up with air. Great work. And I do feel
and sorry,
I was just going to stay with McLaren and move to Piastri, but I don't mind.
I was gonna say, and we've already went off our
Schedule.
pre-discussed schedule.
Wow, this is why we're
But
interesting. We didn't
but
follow a plan.
but what's new?
Moving on to Piastri. Fuck the start of the race. Let's just keep
Yeah.
on the penalties
This
and
is where a
race for
producer
last.
would come handy. This is where a producer would come in handy. He would sit there and go, back on schedule, boys.
No, but a producer could cut this into chronological order.
Yeah, so yeah, that position's still open if anybody wants it.
Anyone's interested, we're still looking.
And probably will be by the end of the season.
Well, let's talk about the start of the race. We'll catch up about Piastri later.
No, let's go to our pre-arranged schedule and talk about our predictions,
Oh yeah, good start.
which you've obviously already forgot about.
Well, let's do it.
Well,
Well,
you have them.
I do have them. Do you know who was down as the
So
first retirement?
I can't remember. No, so that's you read out our predictions and then
Okay,
we'll see.
but okay, retirement. I predicted Piastri. You predicted Gasly, and which is strange because in the F1 Play app, I actually predicted somebody else. So
I think I predicted somebody else as well. No, I think I went for Piastri in mine.
no,
Did
no,
I go
no,
for
no.
Piastri in
Yeah,
mine?
I've got it written here.
No, no, not in ours. I mean, on the actual app.
Yeah, so you also
I'm
did the same as me. You
I'm pretty sure.
produced.
I'm pretty sure I forgot what we had talked about and then predicted
Yeah,
something else.
I did the same, even though I have the written copy. Yeah, I did the
Yes,
same.
I went. No, I went for Pierre Gasly. I stuck to my guns.
I didn't. I think I went for Albon, and but actually, in our prediction in the podcast yesterday, I went for Piastri. And who was it? It was Piastri.
That's true. Well done. Isn't that your rookie of the year?
No, my rookie of the year is maybe
Or did you go for
Piastri.
Logan Sargent?
No, I think I went for.
I went for Nick de Vries.
I
I
went
know
for.
you.
I went Sergeant. Moving on.
Moving on. Yes.
Classified. I went 16. You went 17. What was the result?
So 17. So I got that one right.
One all, one apiece.
Yeah. One apiece.
In the top three predictions, I went Max Leclerc, Hamilton. So I got one right.
Yeah.
You went Leclerc, Max, Alonso. So you also got one right.
So when I fucking get in, so two apiece.
Now we didn't make this clear.
And
But
no, fuck no. This is a point to me. There was no fucking safety car.
such a prick.
There was a vert. I knew exactly where you're going. You're like, no, we didn't make this clear. No. There was a virtual safety car.
All right,
Which
Piastri.
is I'm fucking telling you. Small victories, Dominic. Small victories.
All right. I'll take it.
So
I'll take it.
that's three. It's 3-2 to me.
3-2. Well done. That's not bad going. Considering that's better than my score on F1 Play.
Yeah. So I've won the first round. Fucking get in.
One to you. One to you. Should we talk about the actual race?
Yeah, no. I think we're done. I have won the predictions. So thank you everyone for listening to the F1 Pit Rain podcast of the Bar No Rain. Ryan wins the predictions victory
I
podcast.
hope you're still listening.
Hope you're still listening. And there we go. Until next time. No jokes. Let's talk about the fascinating first race of the season.
Yeah, I mean, I think the race for last was more interesting than the race for first. So, yeah,
I actually should have just watched the onboard of SML Ocon the whole race.
or Norris.
Oh, yeah. Because if you watch the onboard Norris, we really get a really good view of them just filling his car with air. Just constantly, just air.
Constantly. I think it's like every time because he was being lapped because he had to keep hitting. You just didn't know where he was going to come out, so he was coming out into little random action.
Yeah, he was coming. Yeah, he came out in front of Verstappen at one point. That was the first time I'd seen Verstappen about 25 laps.
I mean, which is actually not a bad thing. So
yeah.
I don't less coverage the better.
The most interesting. One of the most interesting bits of the race was Gasly had the fastest lap for ages, and then Guan Yu Zhou got it at the last lap.
Right, just to stop them from getting the fastest point. They tactically did it on the last lap to remove them. So for those of you who don't watch Formula One and for some reason listen to this bullshit, anyone that finishes in the top 10 that sets the fastest lap get an extra point in the championship. Now, if someone in the top 20 but not in the top 10, so from 11 to 20 sets the fastest lap, basically they steal. There is no points awarded, but they also then in theory steal the point from someone else who would have finished in the top 10. That is the worst way that can be explained.
Yeah, that is possibly the worst way.
And that's how I do it.
I've ever heard. I actually think that we probably do a better job explaining points than what they do during the race, because they were explaining quite a lot during the race today. And Martin Brundle kept going, and maybe correct in thinking. I'm like, well, I fucking hope so.
Yeah, you've been in the sport 40 years.
Yeah, but he was like, I might be correct in thinking, and then made a really obvious point. He was like, no, I'm correct in thinking that they need to run both compounds. It's like, well, the graphic fucking tells you they need to, Martin. And obviously, are you paying attention, Martin? Are you? Fucking co-commentator here.
I thought you said co-commentator.
Coat, yes, he's just commentating.
He's just sniffing
commentating people's coats. He's just
no,
sitting there beside Crofty going, just smelling your coat, sniffing the coats.
Yeah, we stick with your version. I said something else, but yours is much better.
Why? What did you say? Oh, right. Well, possibly that as well. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows?
Moving swiftly on. We really do digress. I mean, we really throw a lot of people under the bus.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, and we also go off tangent quite a bit. Yes, at the start of the race, it's nice to see Stroll locking up in the formation lap. Thought that was good tactic. Throwing everybody off.
Warming the brakes, of course.
Yeah,
oh, God,
just warming the brakes here, boys.
They really played on his broken wrist and broken toe. Oh, my God.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, it was like he'd been in a coma or something, or had something serious. So he broke his hand wanking. Like, Jesus.
It's just like the people were like giving him hugs and stuff. I'm like nobody's died. Chill out.
Yeah, and it's really hard.
Did you see him walking out of the car?
Yeah, I just find it really hard to like Lance Stroll because
he's a billionaire.
He just
never easy.
No, his voice just fucking drives me mad. His voice is just so fucking annoying.
Oh no, it's his eyebrows that get me.
I can't take him seriously.
It's the eyebrows.
He'll sit there and talk, and I'm like, I can't take this guy seriously. And his eyebrow. Yeah.
It's this.
But like the front wing of Aston Martin.
Well, I'll tell you what.
The same size.
I'll tell you what about the Aston Martin. I don't know what they've made that out of, but I've not seen a single piece of carbon fiber come off it, and it was smashed around. It was smashed around the track today.
Must be made of like vibranium or something.
Vibranium
Or like adamantium. it's the strongest thing on the planet.
I've
They were
n-
just smashing in. They were just driving into people. Stroll drove into Alonso.
Alonso
Doing
drove
brilliant. And
into
Alonso,
Lance, drove into Sainz.
yeah, they both used another car to break into a corner, and then
Yeah,
just were like, nope, nope, we're fine. Don't you worry. I
unbelievable.
love, I loved. I don't know if you picked this up, but obviously after Stroll, you're about to watch the race. Stroll drove into Alonso, into turn 4, and Alonso was like, "Who was that? Like, why? Like, what are they doing already? They need to get penalized." And then they never told Alonso who it was.
Not until
He
he
kept
crossed the line.
asking. He kept asking, and they just kept being like, "No, no, no, it's fine. Don't worry. Just you keep driving."
They didn't tell him until he crossed the line. Oh, by the way, but he was like
That was
he was crying about it all race. Like,
yeah,
is something happening about that? But I was
yeah. Like,
running to
you
from
mentioned
behind.
like what happened to the race. It's like it happened. There was some person crashed into me, and they're like, "Oh no, don't worry. We're looking into it."
So funny, and the way they explained it to him as well. Yeah, he was sort of being run out by Russell when he had to cut in, and then you were also doing the same, and you were cutting in also from Hamilton to make the corner, and it was because of this racing incident. Like, come on,
Not like
I've
Lance
seen.
Stroll has, not like Lance Stroll's previous of trying to drive teammates off a road.
Plus, I saw the onboard. That was definitely not racing incident. That was just poor driving. To be honest, poor driving. It was Bottas-esque.
Classic Bottas.
But yeah, Alonso got hit, cried about it. Hamilton had a really good start, I thought.
Yeah,
Jumped,
yeah, really good. Yeah.
he jumped Alonso and Russell from the start. I'll tell you who had a lovely, great start as well, Perez.
Oh, yeah, a fantastic start. Yeah, really, really strong start. Yeah. Um,
Held on well,
Leclerc had a good start. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah,
running signs out into the dirt.
yeah. I know. Like, I love the way how they just get away with doing things. I guess where you can just they obviously say there's no wave and you're not allowed to like
That
move
was
on a break in, but at the start of the race, you can do whatever the fuck you want. You
yeah,
can basically just push driver off the side of the road into the barrier.
yeah, and that's pretty much just the way it was going. Perez had a shit start and then ran one Ferrari out as far as he could.
Yeah, but that's all legal. Because when you drive a Milton Keynes Scraps, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, we paid the fines.
Yeah. And I just knew from after like the third or fourth lap when Verstappen was already like 5 seconds up the road, you're just like, he's going to have nice leisurely Sunday drive because the car is just an absolute machine.
It's exactly how it went down. I saw. I think there was some positives to take away for some of the teams. I mean, not discussing NPS scraps, but I mean Russell complaining about Hamilton needs to pull out the way. I mean, it was clear to everyone Hamilton is just managing his tires, and then
Yeah.
lo and behold, a couple of laps later, it's nowhere near Russell.
Yeah, because for like 2 or 3 laps, Russell was in DRS. He thought maybe they'll switch it around. And as soon as Russell was like, tell Hamilton he has to move, what happened? Hamilton shot about 2 seconds up the road.
Yeah,
And
and
I did enjoy Hamilton's radio message when he just randomly came on and was like, "Do you want me to go faster? I'll go faster if you want me to."
yeah,
And they're like, "No, no, tire management's fine."
yeah.
And then 2 laps later, they're like, "Can you go faster, please?"
Just chilling, just chilling.
I think they might. I think Mercedes made a mistake pitting Hamilton that early.
I think so as well. I think they should have pitted Russell still.
I think it should have been Russell first and then left Hamilton out roughly the same time that they left Alonso out. Because if they
Yeah,
did, I think Hamilton definitely would have got Sainz and maybe might have sneaked to the podium at the end.
yeah, I think so as well. I mean, he was clearly on the. I know it was only 4 laps difference on the tire at the last, but I think it made a difference on a high deg track. You could see
And I
that.
think 2 years ago, not last season, the last time Hamilton won a championship, they would have made that call. And I don't know what it is past, especially last season and this race, their decision making and pitting has been off.
Yeah,
Hasn't been great.
They're playing safe a lot, aren't they? That's the problem.
Yeah,
Like
it isn't that ruthless Mercedes that we've seen multiple times before.
they're lacking in confidence. That's what it is. I think they know they've not got the car outright in pace. Yeah, definitely. I agree, 100%. I
Another
want
good point from the race. Oh, sorry.
no,
Yes, we'll
you.
keep talking. No, we'll talk over each other. That's fine. We always do. So
Well, it wouldn't be F1 Purple Rain if we didn't. I just wanted to make one comment and slight complaint to Formula One that the coverage is still shit. We're watching one race, an overtake about to happen, and then they switch to somebody else. I just couldn't believe.
yeah, I don't understand why I do that.
We were watching
Well, actually, I do. Now I understand why I do it because they now have a battle view. Oh, did you not hear this? So they obviously have their normal televised thing on Sky Sports F1.
dog shit
They
stream.
have they have yes, they have but this is my point for why they've probably had this dog shit dog shit viewing on. I don't know why I struggle to say that word. They also have the
Nice.
20 onboards for every driver, but they also have this new thing, battle, their new battle channel, which switches throughout the race to people who are having very close battles.
Why would they fuck about with something so complicated when they can't even get it right for the mainstream?
Yeah, exactly. And
That's
that's just for like their Sky Go, Sky Natalie Pickman's in some other Sky package thing. And I was like, who pays for this? Like, just what? It's like, just fucking what? Just improve your viewing for everybody. Don't
yeah,
show somebody overtaking and switch to another battle that means nothing. It's always the battles that are for the points
yeah.
that they switch away from to someone who's overtaken someone like 13th. And you're like, we
Yeah.
don't care about this.
Someone being unlapped.
Yeah. It's like, I don't care who's taking over someone for like 14th. I
I
want to
mean,
see the points.
we were at that point we were watching Alonso and Russell, and obviously Alonso took Russell, and just before we saw the overtake, they switched to some fucking Piastri and Norris at the back. I'm like, what the fuck what's this? What?
Yeah, cause I'm pretty sure they switched as well from somewhat towards front to Yuki Tsunoda doing a double overtake within three corners for no points positions.
That was
And
the
I'm like,
best overtake of the day, though.
I'm like, it was good, but I would rather be watching the overtakes up top for people who are actually fighting for positions.
Yeah.
Actually, I think overtaking the day was Alonso on Hamilton
That's
on the
that's
inside of 9 and 10.
yeah, that's the next to impossible place to overtake as well. I mean, I played the game long enough, and Bahrain is the track we raced on the most because it's the one that you start the season on, and then the times we had to restart the season because the game's so buggy, fucking disaster. So me and you
Yeah,
have raced on Bahrain more than any other track by a long way, and that place where Alonso took Hamilton is near on impossible to do an overtake.
yeah, it was. That's why I don't think Hamilton even expected it. Like he just literally was like, "I'll take this normally." Because usually you do is you fall closely after 10, get the DRS, and then try on the straight. But nope, he's like Alonso was like, "Nope, I'm taking him. I'm doing it."
I had so much more
Fair play to
grip
him.
because it's a sharp 90-degree left corner that you have to take straight after that. But he must have the grip and the confidence in the car. The car seems to be pretty good, doesn't it? Let's
It
see
does,
it.
yeah. They've made a massive improvement in it, I think. And like Alonso said during the race, this is a lovely car to drive.
Yeah, and they're quite chuffed with
What
themselves.
a prick. Well, I would be too if I were spent put more development cut
Well,
money
they're
into the
laughing.
car.
They're laughing as well. He was laughing in the conferences and interviews afterwards. He's like, "Yep." And because where we finished last season, we're going to have loads and loads and loads of tunnel time, so we're going to be
Yeah,
laughing.
yeah. So was that strategic last year as well for Aston Martin to finish as low as possibly could without looking like they were trying to do that
Heard it here first.
to get the
Control
win, to get the win tunnel time for this
controversy,
controversy?
conspiracy,
Yeah,
making the words up as we go along.
yeah.
Conspiracy,
Yes,
controversy.
Controversy. There we
I was
go.
getting
It's a controversial
conspiracy.
idea. Well, it is. It's it's that's to go with conspiracy.
Yeah, some
Yeah.
weird one.
I would like to go to the point I've been trying to say for about 10 minutes. I thought Pierre Gasly had an excellent race.
Well, yeah, he did the most overtakes, did 11, didn't he?
The driver that I said would retire first actually went from last to ninth.
Had the best drive of the day, 100%.
Yep.
After
But do you know what
race,
was do you know what was really funny about that? You barely saw him on TV.
I don't remember seeing him ever.
I think I maybe seen one overtake from Gasly. I think I might be at the start.
Well, again, classic coverage from Formula One.
And he
And
just appeared in ninth from nowhere. And I was like, when the fuck did Gasly get the ninth? I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I've barely heard anything about him. I've barely seen him.
why would you?
And he's ninth. And they kept talking about, oh, Bottas has had a great start here. He's went from 12th to 8th. He's been fantastic. And I'm like, can someone show me Pierre Gasly, please?
Yeah, someone let me know why he's
Why
made
how he's
half
doing so well? Like,
the
why
grid.
how is he fucking in from 20th to 9th? But no, we'll mention people like Bottas has had a great race. Oh, there's Logan Sargent, rookie in 12th. No, fuck these drivers. I like Bottas. And he did do well, but can someone please show me Pierre Gasly? And then he started talking about Pierre Gasly at the end of the race, like lap 54, and they're like, oh, he might get Bottas here. Oh, he's close. And I'm like, can you please have showed me how he got close?
Well, I only know towards the end because he got pit under the virtual, didn't he? That's what made him fast right at the
Yeah.
end. Which I'm again, why half the grid didn't roll that dice? Like loads of the people had nothing to lose.
Yeah, just fucking go for it.
It's only like 3 cars that did it. That's
Yeah, the
absolutely
left
baffled me.
Nick de Vries got left out, and he's got kept overtaken by everyone.
Yeah,
Like, why not like pit like fucking people here? Like, why not hold it? Just go for it. Just go for it.
I tell you what, though, it's a hard call to say who had the worst race.
Oh, really?
Well, you
You had
want Ocon or Norris?
yeah. Well, Ocon DNF and Norris finished, so I would say Ocon had the had the worst race.
I don't know. I mean, Hulkenberg also had a
Like
bad race considering where he
the
started.
man had 30-second penalties. Like 30 seconds of penalties. That's a pit stop and more
Yeah,
of penalties.
I mean, you could argue even Piastri. I think there's lots of arguments for worst race of the day. I would even argue
Charles Leclerc.
Hulkenberg could also argue because Hulkenberg, considering where he started and the pace he had,
Yeah.
he got wing
And then he
damage.
ended up with 15-second time penalty for multiple track limit violations.
And
It's like what really got me about that was because I was like, he's driving in like 15th. What are you hoping to gain
exactly.
from
So,
fucking these track? Like, I can get it when they give it when you hear people like Hamilton, like Alonso, or like Sainz, and like people are like fighting for positions. Yes, they're pushing, like they're pushing to get a fucking podium. Yes, I get that. But Hulkenberg was like 15th. What are you doing in 15th?
but it's not just that. Like Ryan, what gets me is it was noted, it was warned, it was black and
Yeah,
white flagged, and then the penalty came.
yeah. And he got 15 seconds because he just kept doing it. It's like, fucking just stop, Hulkenberg. And what really got me as well, he had damage to his front wing really early on.
But it didn't pit him.
And
They
I
waited
didn't
for
pit him. They just were like, yeah, go ahead.
and even when he
Off you
pitted,
go.
they didn't. Even when they did pit him, they didn't change it straight away. He ended up behind Magnussen before they fucking changed the wing.
Yeah, and he finished by Magnussen, and you're like, for fuck's sake, I would be raging if I was Hulkenberg. Well, to be fair, he
Yeah,
broke his wing. It was his own fault.
okay, mad.
Like, most of my notes are just Ocon getting time penalties
Well, I want to talk about Norris
and
as well.
and Norris pitting all the fucking time.
Yeah,
He pitted six times in a two-stop race.
four extra pit stops. That's unheard of. Moving on. I was amazed
Moving on
that
to what? Because I think we pretty much covered that whole race because it was that boring. There was a couple of good battles, I thought, between Hamilton, Alonso and Sainz.
yeah, I'm amazed they didn't pit Russell, as we said. Instead, they boxed Ham, which I think cost him. But
Yeah, even Hamilton said like on his way in, was like, why are you boxing me? My tires are fine. And they're like, oh, we're worried about the undercut. Well, they still finished behind fucking Alonso anyway, and they came out ahead of him.
yeah, Stroll jumped Russell in the pits, which was Mercedes weren't like clean on the stops, as you said. That they weren't making clever calls. Do you see the Red Bull front jack nearly get run over?
Yeah, yeah. Who? What the Milton Keynes scraps front jack? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I do. I
Probably
do.
if I was any other team, they probably got a penalty for endangering team members. But sure.
You touched on Leclerc having one of the worst races. I mean, classic Ferrari. One of them don't finish, just
Oh
pull the
God!
car
Like
over.
I was like, okay, they're third and fourth. They're not going to catch red. They're not going to catch the team ahead. Just fucking play it safe. What they did, they put the both drivers on the hards. They were like, "We'll just finish this race, collect some good points, you know." And then because they changed the batteries and stuff in the cars before the race, like Leclerc, it always just makes you laugh every time you see a car going slow and it just happens to be Charles Leclerc. And you're like, not again, not again, not again, not again, Leclerc. Why? Like,
Always, it's classic. I don't think. I honestly don't believe Ferrari have changed at all. So I'm buzzing. I'm buzzing. It's going to be a good few
it
races.
was definitely Binotto from behind the scenes being like, it was me.
Uh,
Tell Leclerc it was me.
tell Leclerc, like a ghost.
Like a ghost, like over like, tell Leclerc it was me.
I did want to mention Piastri. They said like the issue with the steering wheel. He comes in, they change the steering wheel, the car just dies.
Yes.
Immediately dies. Just like bring the car in, we'll
Just
change the
shut
steering
down.
wheel.
Boom.
It's like,
Just straight away.
the McLaren's car was basically fuck this shit. Does not want to take
Fuck.
does not want to take part in it at all.
And you steering wheel. Fuck off. Boom. Done. Dead.
It was on life support. I mean, one car's on gas and the other one's fucking dead. So McLaren,
They're basically on life support. Like it was a fucking joke.
fuck's sake, what a
It's like
fucking
we've lost
shambles!
one. Keep the other one alive. It's like we are not pulling the plug on this. We are not fucking pulling the plug.
Oh, fucking hell.
Lando Norris was basically like a corpse of a fucking human being
Uh,
just being dragged around the fucking track, kept on fucking life support on
I
gas.
know, so funny.
Like it's like just let me go. No, fucking no.
We'll make it. We'll make it to the end.
We're gonna pull through this. I am not losing you.
Fuck's sake. I mean, the last thing I wanted to mention was Sainz just being told to protect the position, but I thought, oh, no chance, not with Alonso coming up behind. Fucking wishful thinking.
Definitely not. Did you see anything from Ted's notebook?
Yeah, I did. Shall we quickly do the rundown and then we'll go through Ted's?
Yes.
I'll quickly
Okay.
do. I'll quickly go 20 to 1. Yeah.
Well, that is the grid.
I didn't know if you want to do half and half.
No,
So
just you bash it out.
all right. So in 20th we have Piastri DNF. Then in 19th Charles Leclerc DNF. Then Locon in 18th DNF. Then Norris.
You mean Pancon?
Pencon. Then in 17th, 2 laps behind Norris on gas and air. Then in 16th, fastest lap of the day. Then Hulkenberg, damaged wing, 1 lap behind. In 14th, De Vries, 1 lap behind. 13th, Magnussen, 1 lap behind. Logan Sargent in 12th, 1 lap behind. And then the top 11 are all not lapped. Sonoda in at 11, Albon in at 10, Gasly in at 9, Bottas in at 8, Russell in at 7, Stroll in at 6, Sainz in at 4, Alonso in at 3, Perez in at 2, and that's it.
That was it. Yep, I really, really enjoyed that rundown.
Yeah, Ted's notebook. Yeah, I mean, going from the interviews onwards, I mean, it was interesting to see Nico Rosberg do interviews. It was not. Alonso was making jokes about the tunnel development. Perez was asked by Nico, "What do you think you need to do to catch Max?" And Perez was like, "Well, it was only because of my poor start, or else I would have been up there today."
Oh, and also the fact that my car doesn't get developed.
Yeah. In the cool down room, it's quite interesting. Perez and Alonso were there speaking in Spanish for quite some time. Max was the third wheel. Didn't know what to do with himself because they're talking in Spanish.
Good.
Then
Good.
then he interrupts. Very awkward. Then we have in Ted's notebook, Albon reckons they've got the second best car in terms of improvement, considering where they were last year to this year.
Oh, okay.
I know it catches you out, that comment, doesn't it?
Yeah. I didn't honestly expect that.
Stroll lists the huge medical team he had to support him, so he was even able to make the race. I mean, it sounded like he had hired an entire hospital to make it possible for him to race today.
Well, with his dad, wouldn't surprise me.
And he said he cried in the car after he hit Alonso.
Probably, I would say probably not out of fear of anything other than Alonso beating the fuck out of him.
Well, he said it's because his wrist hurt so bad, and then he limped off. And I swear to God, I don't want to be mean about people with limps, but it was so pathetic.
Was it put on?
Yeah, it looked very put on. Gasly obviously in the interviews came out and was very chuffed that he made up 11 places, but what was very interesting was there's still a real hatred for Ocon in that team, and you could see it. Oh yes, they do not get along. And when he was talking to Nico Rosberg, he sort of said, "Oh, you understand, wouldn't you? When your time with Hamilton."
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, this is going to be an interesting season. Can't wait for them to butt heads.
They're definitely not friends; they're rivals. And then what was most interesting from the Ted really was actually talking to Toto Wolff about the Imola upgrades that are going to be scrapped, and they need to start completely fresh for a new car. They are basically taking radical Plan B, and they're going to start all over again because it's not good enough. They need a second in that car, and they don't have it.
Well, that's ridiculous. You would never thought Mercedes would need a second in a car.
I know.
But unfortunately, that is what happens when you cheat and do whatever the fuck you want in there and know that the FAA will give you no repercussions that will actually mean anything.
Exactly. We heard a little bit of Lawrence Stroll. He is confident in a couple of years they'll be winning the championship. And he's got all the money in the world.
Yeah, and Alonso did say that Lance Stroll is a future F1 world champion.
Yeah, but
how much drugs is that man on?
Alonso also said that about Russell last year.
Yeah.
Or the year before.
Yeah, probably.
And he said about Ocon.
Well, if Ocon doesn't die at the hands of Pierre Gasly, then maybe.
In the French guillotine.
Yeah. Chopped. Well, I think that pretty much wraps up the podcast today.
Yeah.
We have actually done this on the day of a race, which is absolutely fantastic. And we will have this out possibly tonight. And for your listening pleasure, let us know how you like it on Instagram at F1PurpleRain or at our email at f1purplerain@gmail.com. And thank you for listening. And we hope that you still enjoy what we were doing. And goodbye.
Hope you're still listening. Goodbye.